I think we live, baby.
What's good? What's good?
Good morning. Good morning. We are here, family talk. Let's discuss it. Man, y'all just see two people on the screen right now.
That's it.
Y'all see it. It's your boy B.
It's your boy Coach A.
Hey, Coach A. Hey, we finna hold it down for the rest of our crew members that couldn't make it to the set today, but we'll talk about that later because we need answers from a couple of them. But we gonna come back. Gonna let y'all get in, get comfortable. We're gonna run it off with Coach A's news, and I think we will check. Hold on, wait 1 second before we do that. 1 second before we do that.
Coming in,
There
patting
go Nick.
his beard.
Man, what bad?
I can hear it in your voice.
There you go. You get cheers just for making it.
Just for making it, man.
Man, the thing is, I set the alarm and everything.
What's your when the alarm went off? What you did?
I set it for 7:30, and then when it went off, I gave him the 10-minute snooze. I don't even know what happened after that.
We know what happened.
No, you know what happened.
You kept snoozing.
Yeah. But Nick joined us, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be back and hit right on the Coach A's news right after this.
Tell them I ain't mad, baby. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Ain't nobody ever take this moment from me. So nigga, while I got it, the fuck it, it's all good. It's all good. Straight up, it's
Jimmy,
all
do you
good.
not know that dumping the ball off to your big man gets him and motivates him?
Tell them I ain't mad if they ain't know. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Ain't nobody ever take this moment from me.
I don't want no smoke over there. I heard her tell somebody out in traffic. I don't want no problem with that.
For real. I'm like, no part
I don't
of
want
that.
no problem with that.
Y'all know what it is. Family talk. Let's discuss. Hey man, it's good to see y'all boys this morning.
What's up, fellas?
What's
Nothing
good?
much. Not much, man. Coach A, man, what
Y'all
you
ready?
got on?
Y'all ready to get into this? Let
Let's
me
do it.
run this news intro.
Wakey, it's breakfast time.
Morning is upon us.
Look at Nick, right?
That's right. Wake your butt up. Have a sit down. You know what time it is. It's little news. What's going around T World with Coach A. Hope everybody doing. Shout out to Rhea. What's going on?
What's up, Rick?
Real, what's good, real?
Yes, sir. So a couple of interesting things that happened around the world. First of all, Alec Baldwin was handed a loaded weapon by an assistant director who indicated it was safe to use in the moment before the actor fatally shot a cinematographer. Think about that. I know that when have you ever thought about that when you was younger? Like when you first learned that there was blanks out, like, oh, what happened if they slipped a real one in there?
Bro, it's a couple movies that I don't watched that like the one that comes to mind is Child's Play 3, where Chucky went and exchanged all the fake ammunition and put in real ones. And I always thought about it, like, what if that really happened in real life? And this is just a thought, and you never think that it can actually happen. And when I was reading it, I thought it was a joke, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, why y'all playing with this dude like that? Don't do that with this man career. Then I kept seeing it. I kept seeing it, and I was like, oh, this dude really shot somebody.
Yeah, accidentally. And that's stuff that, like I said, if most guys, young guys, we think of crazy stuff. I don't know how women are, but you just get crazy stuff that go through your mind. You know what I'm saying? And so it's been several times I thought the same way. Like, what if that happened in real life, or they on the director, especially once you first learn what the little blanks look like. They, every pack is the same. They just a little different in color, I believe. So that's crazy. So listen, the next thing I got is interesting. So can you imagine right? That you at good morning, Carla. Carolyn, right? That's Carolyn. I'm sorry. Good morning. We got another one chimed in. So listen, can you imagine being at a burial, right? You at a burial for your grandmother, and then soon as you get the body down there, somebody come up to you and serve you, a process server serve you court papers to a divorce at your grandmother's burial. So
It's
let me read
messed up,
this.
but they gotta do their job.
They got to do their job. So listen, Dr. Dre, right? We know him as is
Dr.
Young and
Dre.
Nicole Young were declared legally single in June, but they're still in court battling over a divorce settlement. So anybody ever been through a divorce where you're going back and forth, it can get pretty nasty. But anyhow,
Yeah.
it was said that the divorce between the famed hip hop producer Dr. Dre and Nicole Young continues heading toward Towerley. It was reportedly served legal papers at his grandmother's recent funeral. Dr. Dre, 56 born Andre Young, was laying his grandmother to rest in Inglewood Park Cemetery on Monday when he served papers related to his divorce. So to me that's crazy. I don't know if it was actually at the when he was actually putting her down in, or if it was after the service and he was on his way out. Either way, I think it's definitely a how would you say a insensitive time to do that. Maybe follow the car or see where he go or whatever the situation is, but
Yeah.
at the same
So
time,
who got served the papers? The wife or Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre.
Oh,
Dr. Dre, men, we probably ain't up on that like that. We ain't trying to, we trying to keep everything. We trying to just go through this. You keep what you have, I keep what I have, even though it might be a lot more.
but I heard didn't they sign a prenup?
I don't think it matters, honestly. I'm not sure, but I think prenups really don't matter. Depends on your family structure and how you get, how long you together, how you build. Because you can't sign the prenup and then both of y'all build an empire together, and then you just walk away with everything and she get everything else. I mean, what she came with, or he get what he came with. So I just think
That's
but it's
crazy.
definitely, I don't know how my reaction would be. I would be upset, if I was at a burial and somebody came up to me giving me papers. I would think that he would have people around him. He's, what I'm saying, popular and rich enough that he would have people around him that you can't just come up to him no matter where he's at. When you
Right.
think,
You would think so. But people getting shot with props these days, so everything is crazy in life these days.
Yeah,
Nothing
you're right.
surprises me no more. Nothing surprises me no more.
We got some info on here. It says, put a comment up. It says she's contesting it because at the time she signed it, he was worth as much as he is now. He wasn't as worth as much as he is now. Yeah, see, that's what I was just saying. Like, if y'all both get together and build this empire, because obviously when you have kids and stuff like that, there's a role that women play. It's kind of backdoor, but it enables men to do a lot of things. Otherwise men will have to have that responsibility. Being there for the kids or doing this and doing that while they're out building that money. So that's why I look at it, a little differently when it comes to the whole, prenuptial and, divorce and stuff like that, because there is a lot of stuff that women do that don't seem like a lot, but it allows us to go out there and just hustle and do what we can do without worrying. And that should be accounted for. You know what I'm saying? Some type of way. So that's just my take on it. So, but other than that, that's all I have aside from the baby scare Thursday.
Coach said doctor was tripping.
Say what?
You said
doctor was tripping, man. Yeah. So my wife, she had an appointment Thursday, and she called me after her appointment saying that she got to go over to the emergency room because she was dilated 1 centimeter, and she wasn't having bad contractions. Obviously, she was probably having some minor ones, but so the doctor, they was thinking that maybe she was dehydrated or something like that. So they wanted to do something to try to slow the contractions down, or at least see, give her some fluids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So our thing is that we're completely against any type of medicine. She wants to do it all natural, and I support that. So if they're going to give her some medicine to slow it down, she really don't want that. She wants to be all natural and stuff like that. So we went there. We was there from like maybe like 2:30, 3:00 somewhere to like 9:30. And all they did was give her an IV and monitored her. So she didn't dilate no more. The contractions didn't get no worse. So we ended up coming home for sure. But it's baby time, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's baby time. It's coming up pretty soon.
It's coming up. She wants to last at least another week. So
why another week?
Well, she got one more week that for her dance class, they're getting ready for like a performance and stuff. And so she just want to make sure everything is perfect when she step away. So this is actually the last week she has set for this month. So
gotcha.
But I
stretch that.
Yeah, but some women are just hard workers, man. They don't care. They're gonna work all the way up to the baby drop.
Man, I'm telling you. And that's a salute to all women, man. Y'all just do some things that we can't even fathom.
Exactly.
So
you know it. So that. Man. But here you got all these guys pretending, talking about they women. Like,
we ain't gonna start.
Look, I throw my hands up. Look, I throw my hands up, man. My hands is up. That means you win. I'm just saying.
We gonna start that. Jesus.
But it's the truth, though. It's the truth. Anyway, you can put on a costume, though.
There you go. He's there with it. So what's on the docket today?
Man, listen, man. We got
that was on the docket. Did you read the thing? It said, what did it say? Chop it up.
Yeah, that was doing chopping it up.
Chopping it up, buddy.
Nah, he trying to marinate. That's all he trying to do. Let's, we got something on the docket about white and black. Is there a white or black privilege?
Woo! Man.
So that's the question. Is there and then people in the comments, y'all let us know, is there a white or black privilege?
Well, not officially. Are we talking about officially or unofficial?
Nah, unofficial, because it ain't unofficial. Unofficial. This is all unofficial stuff. Is there a privilege for either side?
Oh man. Go ahead, Nick. We waiting for you.
So I mean, I absolutely would like to take the white and the black out of it, but there are privileged people in this world.
Okay. Explain
everything don't have to be white and black. I mean, everything that is known don't need to be said. So, but with that being said, I mean, you got some of these people, they work to get to where they at, and they want to give their kids the lifestyle that they never had. But in that, I would think they would still try to instill, working to get where they was. But some people don't do that. I mean, I just saw a video with Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks. He worked to where he got to. Like, nobody handed him anything. He said he was his family was middle class. So when he got to his point, he said he don't give his kids just anything and everything that they want. They gotta work for it. And in that sense, his kids aren't growing up to be privileged. They gonna have that money, when they need it, if they need it, but they ultimately gotta work for it. His daughter got a job, 16 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a job at 16. We wasn't handed anything. So
but when people mention white and black privilege, I don't think they mean it in that aspect. What you said is absolutely true. I mean, I'm with you 100%. But I don't think that when you talk about white and black privilege, obviously I can't speak for everybody, but the majority, I don't think that's the meaning.
I think that's a part of it.
That's part of it.
Yeah, and then you had the other part where,
Come on now. You know what they talk about.
Before
got the other part.
Before y'all go on, Uncle Pudge.
Uncle Pudge.
Hey.
You getting up, thugging it out. What is this morning, man?
Yeah, what you got you got the crisscross backwards?
No, that's a Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was a blanket.
Yeah, I thought it was. You know how people used to put their shirt over backwards just to warm up or something.
Oh, it's like a blanket. It's a Snuggie.
Oh, Star Wars Snuggie.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Rhea say when you say privilege, she thinks entitlement. So
Yeah.
Uncle Pudge, you just rode onto the scene. What you think? Is there a white and or black privilege?
It's definitely a white privilege.
Okay.
But you know, I don't know about black privilege now.
It's a black privilege.
It's black privileges out there.
It is. It's not. People don't. They don't really care for them, or it just depends on where you at in your mindset. But there is a black privilege. Sometimes.
I mean, define black privilege. I mean, I would like to know what the hell we privileged to, besides an ass whooping to cops. So I mean, we can say what? We can say nigga. And everybody else can.
That's a privilege. That's a privilege.
That's a privilege.
That's a privilege.
Yeah.
Well, unless
outside of that, I mean, outside of that,
that's probably the only one in my mind.
We can go right. I'm like, we can go into, I don't know. We can go into certain neighborhoods without fear.
Yeah,
I think everybody can do that. It's just,
I don't know.
We the people that they fear.
Right. That's
why it's a privilege for us.
But I wouldn't call that a privilege.
What you call it?
Why?
I mean, I'm going to a neighborhood of black people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't call that privilege. I'm sorry that they scared of black people, but I'm not.
But I'm not.
But there's still some neighborhoods out there that even some black people want to go into.
I mean, I feel you.
It's the same as being scared of the police, man. It's the same thing. Like,
but that's the thing. Anyone of y'all scared of the police?
Getting accosted.
No. Yeah, I'm scared of the police.
Why would you be scared of the police, Telly?
Because of the society. You already know the word.
Because of what the media put out here?
No, it's society.
But I know Telly is a man that do not listen to the media.
No, I don't listen to the media. I mean, dude, I grew up south side of Chicago.
Here you go, Joe.
And then, we had instances. Like, a lot of people don't know that when in the 90s, when I was a kid, they had a thing in Chicago called mob action, where like if it was 5 or more of you walking down the street, police had the right to pull you over. And we used to have to actually literally, count our numbers, like how many of us is it? And we had to split up like, hey, y'all walk across the street, we'll walk over here, so we wouldn't get messed with. Oh, wow. And I mean, dude.
Yeah, but that's only one side of the story, though.
No, dude, I'm just saying. And dude, we were dressed like we're going to school. Like, you can see us with our football equipment, and you can see us dressed like decently. We wasn't dressed like, the stereotypical thugs, but they would just pull us over. Like, where y'all going? What y'all doing? Stuff like that. And if we ventured out into the suburbs, it's like, literally what you see on TV, they'll pull us, what you doing out here? Like, what's your business in this area? Like, so my fear is like, shit, I don't want to get messed with, and then you seen all these recent things of people getting pulled over and shot. Shit, I get pulled over. My first thing in my mind is like, please don't be that cop. I'm trying to get out of this. I'm calm and cool and collected. I'm speaking to them to keep them calm. Shit. Jody, what you on your NWA? Fuck the police. Okay.
He's always been like that. We know that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, I have, but by the same token, my brother was a cop. I grew up and knew some cool cops and stuff like that worked at my school and stuff. So, it's like a balance for me. Like, I'm leery because some of them be on some BS and some of them are good. I don't hate all cops.
But I would tell you at the same time, some of those groups that you talking about, like your group walking on the sidewalk, some of them was good and some of those groups was bad. Because when I was, we grew up in the same era, and it was times where a group of our people was walking around looking for white people.
Nah, we ain't seen none in my neighborhood.
Yeah, well,
you have to go.
What Nick was saying.
Right, you can go downtown Chicago to see white folk, but in my neighborhood, which is different now. If I go back to my neighborhood now, I'm seeing nothing but white people. I'm like,
what I'm saying is that they was looking for trouble.
Most definitely, dude. They'll mess with you.
It didn't even have to be white. If you was wearing the wrong color, you was wearing the wrong color, if you was from the wrong neighborhood, they all jumped on you.
Oh yeah, dude. Always, it's always that one in the crowd that try to pick with you and stuff like that. Like say something to you and want you to react so they can whoop your ass. So most definitely, but that's, I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know if that's everybody neighborhood.
I mean, it wasn't the neighborhood me and Brandon grew up in.
I think it was everybody's neighborhood.
No, it wasn't. We can honestly say we didn't see that.
See, so
it was different. I don't think it was everybody's neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it definitely. So that's why I understand some of the policing, because I will tell you that in my neighborhood, I felt privileged because obviously I knew all the people in there, and so to a certain extent, if you was coming to the neighborhood to cause trouble, you had to deal with a lot of those people.
Hey, Jody needed the code numbers.
Yeah, because I ain't feel privileged in my neighborhood. Shit, my neighborhood was a hellhole. Shit, it was the projects, man.
Ease up, killer. Yeah, I'm talking to Jody right now, y'all.
I'm sitting here trying to text him.
Jody's sitting there, uppercase level words and explanation points. Stop yelling at us, dog.
That's because he trying to get in before we change the subject.
That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he tried. As soon as he pop on, I'm gonna hit the claps, and then we're gonna change the subject, Cody.
Oh my God. Jody,
Detroit. Man. I'm from Toledo, so we like super neighbors right there.
But I mean, I don't think we really touched on that white privilege thing yet.
No, we not. We still
because we was talking about the black privilege. That's what we was trying to get through.
Yeah. Oh, trying to figure it out.
Yeah. But it really ain't much to figure out, so we can go on to the white.
We got a couple of things. That's it.
Yeah, it's probably some stuff.
Well,
don't know.
You know what? Honestly, it's kind of like on the rise in this day and age. If you start to look at it, it's hard. It's kind of easy. You can barely say something to a black person now. Their ass get in trouble. You like, what you say? Oh man, you in trouble now. Like John Gruden. The man said, the dude had tires like Michelin. Lips like Michelin, that man out of a job now.
I mean, but how many of us was raised if you ain't got nothing to say, don't say nothing at all?
I mean,
I ain't gonna say he was raised like that.
The question is how many of us listen?
I mean, to a certain point, when you got a certain job, no, you gotta learn what to say and what not to say, and who to say it to, who not to say it to.
That's what I'm saying.
He said it 10 years ago, though. It was like,
and he shouldn't have said it then.
I mean, well, he gave an explanation. Like that. Right. He gave an explanation. He said, that's what I call liars. So he's like, I refer to everybody that I think is a liar as rubber lips. They didn't want to hear that shit. They was like, you said that about a black dude.
But when did he say that? He said that when he got caught.
Well, he said it when they brought it out. And he was like, man, I said it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a good made up since you got caught. That's what you call all liars. Now, if you would have said that 10 years ago, I call all liars rubber lips, I don't think it would have been that bad.
But nobody said anything about it 10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah.
Coming up when somebody mentioned it to you. But first of all, I don't think nobody need to be fired or quit their job over saying somebody got rubber lips. To me, that's extremely sensitive, and that's ridiculous to me. You know, if he would have been like this nigga, or he would have said, you know,
right? That's what I'm saying. He didn't say anything of that nature, but
he's been working with, you know, blacks for a while on the football team. You know what I'm saying? He had that said some positive stuff to him and some negative. I'm telling you, I don't know about y'all, but I know me personally, I probably joked and said some stuff about people that I would have been fired a long time ago, but because that's their black privilege.
I mean, that's another one. That's right, because we can say some stuff
about anybody.
And they be like, you know, they won't really get on us. But as soon as somebody say something about us, that's fired.
So y'all saying we got privilege and I guess verbiage and wordage.
Yeah, that's it. But that's about it, because we got privilege in action.
There's some white people out there that can get real wordy with you too. So I don't think that's a privilege that black people have.
But they can't. But not to everybody.
Dude,
black
they
people
can't
pick and choose who they do, what they do, and how they do it to certain people.
Of course, I think everybody do that. But overall, in the grand scope of things, you know, we can say some stuff. You know, like I said, we can say some stuff about other people, and we get some leeway. You know, but if somebody says something about us, they ask in trouble, like trouble. Like you got some big eyes. You know, if they offer us a piece of watermelon, it's a problem. It's a problem.
It's over.
It's a problem if that black person make it a problem.
That's what I'm saying. But a lot of people make it a problem because y'all probably don't know about this story. Like last year in the Dallas Cowboys locker room, for some type of motivational thing, Mike McCarthy, you know, was like, gonna smash some fruit. It was the team he was playing against, and the fruit of choice he chose was watermelon. They made a big deal about that. They like,
that's like you said, people make it a problem.
That's what I'm sitting up there like,
put that on themselves.
I'm sitting up there like, what's the problem? He just said smash watermelon. He wanted something big enough to smash. But Shannon Sharp and
Rambo said Hawaiians love watermelon.
You know, but Shannon Sharp and stuff. Shannon Sharp made a big deal about like, why would he do? You can't offer black people watermelon and want them to smash. And I'm like, dude, it ain't that big of a deal.
It ain't a big of a deal. It ain't. And black people, then that's what black people be creating privileges. That's when they be creating privileges. Black people don't know that they doing it, but that's when they create privileges when they put stuff on themselves. But Jody,
what's up? What's up?
Why is you walking around outside?
We thought it was too early.
It is too early. Listen,
palm trees.
It's too early. I was out this morning. It's too early, and I'm walking.
Where was you at?
Undisclosed location.
Did you brush your teeth? Female.
Yeah. I definitely did that. Bro, definitely did. I did nothing else this morning. I definitely brushed my teeth and gave it a good floss.
Good, brother. I'm glad you did that because some people just refuse to do it, and I don't know why y'all is polluting this society with y'all breath. But brush your teeth when you wake up in the morning, man.
Yeah, I ain't do nothing else this morning. I definitely did that.
Brush your teeth. It's fundamental.
Out walking like you was.
So Jody,
what's up, my boy?
White privilege and black privilege. What's up?
I mean, if we're gonna talk about black privilege, because I heard y'all talking about black privilege, I don't really think. Well, let me rephrase this. There is such thing as black privilege because it's like we can kind of say stuff that can't nobody else say and get away with it because we black.
Yeah, we mentioned that. Yeah.
We get that.
Yeah.
He wasn't listening completely. Off and on a little bit.
Right. I was walking. So we can kind of say stuff and do stuff and get away with it. And, you know, but I don't really think there's like, I guess we get to be offended a lot. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say something to us.
No. Black people put that on themselves once again.
But that's what I'm saying. We get to make stuff a bigger deal than what it actually is. Because like I said, that whole Mike McCarthy watermelon smashing thing, I thought that was like, I'm like, all right, Mike McCarthy, yeah, why would you pick a watermelon? But at the same time, like, yeah, you're kind of making this a deal. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a fruit. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Mike McCarthy would have been like, hey, he picked a watermelon for all the black players, then it'd be like, okay, that's a little, bro, why? But if it's just like, nah, we just grab watermelon so everybody can smash them, it was like, y'all kind of doing too much. But when it comes to like black privilege, I don't really see much in the terms of black privilege.
So white privilege.
White privilege. One of my coworkers asked me what white privilege is.
Trying to figure out where you at, man. Why you can't?
he walking in a circle. That's what he's doing.
I know he's walking, but
hey, Jody.
What's up,
brother? What you did last night to have you out there pacing and thinking about life decisions?
No, I ain't think about life decisions.
He under a canopy right now.
I had to drop something off right quick. I had to run a few errands.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Run a few errands.
Yeah, don't think we letting this go, but I got you.
Nah.
I got you.
White privilege, that's like a whole different ball game. Like, I explained to one of my coworkers one time, right? What is white privilege? And I'm like, I give you a perfect example of one of the things that I find out white privilege. It's like, okay, so I asked him, you got kids, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, you got a son, right? And I was like, yeah. Okay. There's a point in every black father's life where they have to sit their sons down and explain to them how to deal with the interaction with the cops. And the problem is, as a black person, there is no right. No matter how tried you feel, no matter how disrespected you feel, no matter how blatantly the bullshit they're trying to pull on you feel, you deal with it. Because if you don't, that's the quickest way to end up dead. And as black fathers, they have to have those conversations with their sons every single time. And I was like, white people don't have to have that conversations with their sons. They don't. You might tell your kids to respect the police and do this, that, and the third, but our conversation is a lot different than what your conversation will be with your son. I said the difference is your son does something stupid at 13, he gets a slap on the wrist and he just needs a little redirection. A black kid does something stupid at 13, he's a future thug in the training and he needs to be taught a lesson, right?
It's not 100%.
So let me ask this, Jody, and just
what's up?
Let me ask this. So I'm trying to find a way to ask it so it makes sense. Let me think about it a minute because I don't want to sound stupid. So let me think about it a minute. So, Coach, go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
Go ahead, Coach.
Dude, that's not 100%. That's not 100%. You can't just say everybody, and that's everybody's privilege. Everybody has to communicate with. There are some white kids that get jammed up by the police. There are the same way that some black kids do.
But you're not saying
just say it's across the board that this is a conversation that you have to have with your kids, with your sons. It's not because nobody had that conversation with me, right?
I don't see why not.
I didn't because I knew because the conversation I had was the same thing that you should have with all your kids is that you have to respect your law enforcement, you have to respect your teachers, you have to respect adults. And if you have an issue, bring it to me and we'll solve it. It's not you just go off, fly out and say whatever you want to say. The problem is not that you have to realize that there is consequences for your actions, no matter what it is. And each individual, throughout the whole world, you don't know what they're going through or what their response is going to be. You may have a racist cop, right? And you may have a regular cop, but you don't know. So guess what? Your response should be the same. You should just respect everybody and then deal with whatever you need to deal with in a better way, as opposed to just being disrespectful and not listening. So
he mean percentage wise, it is.
He didn't say percentage. Say percentage.
I'm just saying,
and I have nothing to say.
He mean the majority of the time, because honestly,
we don't have
just this past. just this past summer, my oldest is 13, and we were driving, and I asked him, has anybody ever talked to you about like if interactions with the police and how you should deal with it? And he said no. And I had to have that conversation with him. And I told him, like, you see how I'm talking to you and we just talking? That's what you want to do. Police ever stop you, you want to talk to them in a respectful manner, because I teach them to respect all adults, first of all,
right?
Like you said. But I'm like, but the cop, you talk to him, respectful manner, don't get crazy with him, because I'm like, even if you feel like he doing something or saying something wrong, you deal with it, and then you get yourself back to me, because at the end of the day, son, do you want to be right or do you want to wind up dead? I'm like, so don't worry about being right at that moment. You get back to me, you tell me, we gonna deal with it. And I tell them that about any adult, though. If an adult does something to you and you feel like it was out of pocket, don't try to take it out, put it in your hands. Get back to me, we gonna deal with it. But I'm looking and I'm sitting up there like, damn, that's crazy. I gotta have this conversation with my kid, because like you said, Coach A, nobody had that conversation with me. It was, like just a regular respect adults. But then again, we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that as a kid dealing with police.
It happens.
I mean, it happens.
It was all over the news. There was a riot in California. It was all over the news. There's nothing changed.
I'm just saying
the
riot you talking about
always been around.
The Rodney King riot. I've seen that.
You watch the movies. You watch the sitcoms like Sanford and Son. They talked about it. The comedians talked about it. The rappers rapped about it. It's never been a time where it wasn't put in our faces.
But I did not experience it.
No,
as a kid. As a kid, I mean, different time.
Yeah.
Maybe it was, we were kind of probably sheltered because in the 80s, I never experienced, but because I was a little kid. I was 6, 7, 8. I was always with my parents and stuff. So I wasn't out here, by myself, going. When I went outside, my playground was actually literally downstairs in the back of my building. It was right there. We went to the school playground, which was right there. So I never ventured out. It wasn't until I got to be a teenager and start venturing out, going to different neighborhoods. Then I started to see, what, the police, how some police, not all, but some will mess with you and do stuff like that.
Right. The conversation that you had with your son is a conversation all fathers should have with their son. It don't matter what the color is, because they can go down. But But everything is the issue is that everybody is viewing stuff through their own personal filter and their own personal lens.
And that's the only way we can view it, though.
Exactly. Right. You're right. That's not the only way you can view it. That's just what happens.
No, that's the only way we can see it, but there's other ways that it can be viewed.
Yes, there you go. There's other ways it can be viewed.
Let me ask you a question, right? You think my father, right, who was born in like 1940, who grew up in like the 50s and 60s, right? That's his era he grew up, right? You think his dealings with the police were anything like the dealings that I got to deal with? So through his lens, he didn't have nothing nice to say. But it's like, you can't tell me that a black father, right, is going to have the same view of the police as white fathers do. So that's why the conversation is always going to be different. And it's just exactly what Telly said. It's like everybody should have respect for the police, but sometimes even respect isn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Because how many times have we seen people cuss the police out? How many times have we seen these white people go off on the police? How many times have we seen these white people put their fingers in the police face? Like, we've seen the videos. You know what I'm saying?
It's not the same cops. It's not the same cop is in every incident.
I know it's not the same cop,
Okay,
but it's
then,
the same feeling. Coach A. Look, little Billy getting pulled over and telling the cops to go F yourself and I pay your salary gets little Billy a ticket. I get pulled over and tell the cops to go F you and you pay my salary. I'm getting my black ass snatched out of my car. I'm getting my car searched. I might catch a Billy club.
Right,
and it doesn't have to be the same cop, but it's just like,
why not?
You
Why it don't have
me,
to be the same cop? So you act the same way as Brandon and me or Uncle Pudge. You act the exact same way as them. Your response to everything in the world is the same as theirs. Is that what you're telling me?
For the majority part, yes. Because I feel like if B and Nick and
you ain't
Telly,
being realistic.
I'm being realistic.
You don't respond the same. You don't respond the same as everybody because you're
we all respond differently. We all respond differently.
If Brandon, right, was to tell a cop to kiss his ass, you telling me that cop's gonna be patient? No. Brandon finna be the cop gonna be like, yeah, all right, well, go ahead and step out the car for me.
So with Coach saying what he's saying, you might get that good cop who might just brush it off the shoulder.
Every once in a while, you do get a good cop.
You can
get a good cop, right? And the conversation usually goes good when you have a good cop.
You're supposed to act like you have a bad cop. I understand that because there are some bad ones. So you just treat them. You treat them all.
You feel the situation out. You feel the situation out. When I get pulled over, you pull me over. Hey, you know how I pulled you over? I was like, probably because I ran that stop sign. He was like, yeah, you ran the stop sign. Got your license and registration? Yeah, no problem, right? I had my license and registration. And depending on where the conversation goes from there, it's depending on whether I got a good cop or not. Not get those cops that'll pull up and be like, well, I pulled you over because you ran that stop sign, because I'm notorious for running stop signs, especially when ain't nobody around. But when you say some stuff like, is this your vehicle? Like, why you asking me, is this my vehicle?
Because is your license
up to date? Is your license up to date? Like, why are you asking me, is my license up to date? What are you trying to insinuate? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, my license is up to date. Yeah, this is my vehicle.
But honestly, all you gotta do is answer the question.
I was just about to say that. If they
no. Y'all gonna respond the same way as Jody responds.
No, don't do that.
There's some, you got Facebook and you got people who looking at these cop videos and they just following what they think they know that they law is. And every state got different laws. But at the end of the day, all you gotta do is answer these people questions and try and get out of there as quick as possible.
And
you don't have to answer that question.
This is true.
Doesn't always get you out of it. I mean, I'll be the first to tell you that answering the questions and doing everything the right way doesn't. But the problem that we have is not a blue suit and gun problem. It's the individual heart-mind problem. That's the issue that we have.
But that blue suit and gun damn sure pumps them up to make that problem a little bit more. Because I promise you wouldn't be this Brody if you didn't have on that badge and that gun now, would you? No, you wouldn't.
We
but
understand.
You got that badge and that gun, now you want a power trip.
We understand. Especially with you.
No, I mean, shit, man, you know what? I got a story for you.
Hey, there it
is. And this is recently. I mean, this happened to me 2 years ago. I used to work a job where I took care of an individual in his home, and I was with his family for 3 years. So my shift was 4 to 8. It's around winter time, so it gets dark at 5, up here 5, 6. So I'm coming from there, and I had to drive it's like 45 minutes an hour. So I used to commute, and I go through these little towns because I take the back way. So I'm driving as usual through this little town, and I'm coming, and I'm just driving. I'm doing the speed limit because it's 25, because it's a really little town. So I'm almost out of town, hitting the border to where you say, okay, you left the little town, and I'm driving, and it's dark, it's dark. That's how little this town is. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden, before I get to the border, I see cop lights behind me. And I'm like, damn, where does cop come from? And I'm the only car on the street. So I know he pulling me over. So
you better stop.
Right, I pull over, and I'm sitting up here like, what the hell did I do? I wasn't speeding. I wasn't swerving. Okay. So I'm like, I didn't do anything, so I'm cool. He come up to the car, and he rolls down, and I roll down. He's like, he asked me for all my stuff. And, first thing I tell him is right here in the glove compartment. I got to reach and grab that, okay? He said, okay. And then this is what he said that made it strange. He's like, I already ran your plates and I already know, you up to date on everything. And he went back and he went to his car and I'm sitting up there, what the fuck you pulled me over for? Like, why did you pull me over? I'm thinking like, if I wasn't breaking any laws or doing, why did he pull me over? Right then and there, like, why? I'm doing everything right. So I'm like, oh shit, I might got one of them. So I'm going to play this cool. Because he literally pulled me over for no reason. Zero reason. He came back to the car, handed me my stuff.
I knew that. I knew that was coming.
And he said, okay, have a nice night. I said, thank you, you too. And I got the hell out of there. I was like, man, because that was the strangest thing that was strange. Like,
so your drugs don't fit in your car?
Shit. I mean, I drive a minivan.
A kidnapped body don't fit in your car?
Shit. Man, I'm in a minivan.
But why does those questions even matter if he got his ticket and he got his stuff back and left out of there?
The question matter because he's saying he put him over for nothing. He
didn't ask him to search his car. No, he didn't ask him for any of that.
But you don't as a cop, as an individual, you have to profile people, meaning you have to look and assess the situation. So if you come up and somebody's sweating or somebody got scratches on their face or something going on, it might spark some type of investigation or something. Something ain't right.
That's when other questions will arise. But in his situation, no questions arise.
Right, so he gave him his stuff and he went on.
That's it.
But he said why he pulled the car over.
Right. I wasn't speeding.
Right.
I wasn't swerving. He had no cause to pull me over.
Driving while black.
Yeah, that's the only thing because this is
the biggest issue. But you don't know if he got a call that something was going on.
A minivan?
Yes,
he could have.
Kidnappers. That's where kidnappers don't steal people in regular cars. They use vans.
But you get Amber Alerts on your phone. So everybody get that Amber Alert.
So this is the issue right here. So rather than think of any positive thing, we automatically divert to the negative. That's the whole problem with society as whole, is that they're stuck on the negative.
But Coach A, we keep seeing the negative.
But that wasn't a negative thought.
We keep seeing the negative. When we're dealing with the negative.
I don't see anything negative in the cop pulling over, checking somebody, and then letting you go. If he pulled you over, cussed you out, or held you for a long time, or did some other stuff,
shouldn't that be a reason of him being pulled over though?
If you don't know, he could have got a call. He could have.
Okay, then why can't the cop explain that? Why do black folk have to explain themselves when nothing's going on? But why can't the cop explain? Okay, I pulled you over for such and such and such.
You had to talk to the guy. We don't know. Everybody don't explain everything that they doing or what's going on in every situation.
Let me tell you what happened to me one time, and this has something to do with what you were just saying about. Okay, why? And this is what I'm saying about why wouldn't the cop have to explain himself? Why would he pull Catelli over and not tell him why he pulled over? This is an experience that I had. I was coming out of a grocery store, and this cop he asked, "Hey, come here for a second. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing wrong. If a cop need me, I'll come over and talk to you." He said, "Do you got your ID with you?" I said, "Yes." "Can I see it?" I still ain't did nothing, but he a cop. He's an authority. I'm following what I'm supposed to do. I give him my ID. He go and run it. He go back to his car and run it. He came back and said, "Thank you. I just want to let you know that we're looking for someone that fits your description." And of course, as a black person, okay, you're looking for someone that fits my description, but black people come up with different things because he said that one question. So now a natural born black person won't sit here and get upset because he asked that. I didn't need to get upset. I said, okay, long as I'm not the dude that you're looking for, I can get my license and I can bounce out. He gave me my license and I bounced out.
I agree. Yeah.
Sometimes black people take the situation way further than it needs to be taken, and this is what we see on TV.
Yes.
And this is why we're having conversations with our sons.
And
what we've gone.
The reason why we see this is on TV is because that's what they want to push out there.
Yes.
Right.
Both of you guys are correct. And see, that's the point I'm trying to make is that in Telly's case, we don't know. That could have been just because he didn't explain it. It would obviously it would have made you feel better. None of this. Obviously, it would have made you feel better knowing that what he was doing, but at the same time, knowing that that's his job should be enough. That's his job to make sure everybody's safe. Somebody could have been in the car holding you hostage. But none of that, none of this positive stuff that comes to mind is always the negative. He didn't
answer a real question, Coach.
I'm answering everybody's question. It's general. It's general.
What's up, Henry? But I'm not Nate. I'm his twin brother.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, I understand that you had questions, but his job alone should be answer enough. Like, okay, well, you know, if somebody could have been holding me hostage or somebody in the car doing this, I would have been, I would have been helped, or I would have got some help. There's a whole bunch of and guess what? He could have pulled you over because you was black. He could have pulled you over because he ain't like you. He could have pulled you over because he wanted to harass you. There's a huge spectrum of what you can think about, but it's based on your experience, and your filter is how you choose to deal with it. That's why me personally, until it's completely disrespectful, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. And in my life, the peace is a lot higher. Just for me, that's how I keep the peace, by giving the benefit. I tell you my experience. 3 a.m. in the morning, right? I was living in this was in Ohio when I was in Ohio. I was working at a Honda place, right? And it was about 45 minutes away. I didn't have no insurance. My license was suspended. I didn't even have a plate.
Man, you breaking the law.
The plate was on the plate I had was on the window. It wasn't even in the right place. So I'm coming home 3 a.m. in the morning, right? Not even 10 minutes into my 45-minute drive, I get pulled over by a white cop. Pulled me over. So he pulled me over, run all this stuff. You know your license is suspended. You know this and that. He was like, what's going on? I was like, I just had to get to work. I'm sorry. He said, all right. He said, I can't let you drive home, because, you know, you have all this stuff. You're going to have to find somebody to drive your car. And I'm like, well, dang, it's 3 a.m. How am I going to get home? He said, all right, I tell you what I'm going to do. He put handcuffs on my hands in the front, sat me in the front seat, took me 45 minutes. It took me the rest of the 35 minutes and dropped me off at my house, and said, okay, make sure you have somebody come get your car tomorrow, and gave me my ticket and stuff. Of course, I didn't have a ticket. I had to go to court. And so that was the incident that I had.
He didn't want to do the paperwork. I've been in that situation before where cops, you know, like, oh, your back tag doesn't match your car. What I'm going to do is you got to pull it over. And like, I had my license plate suspended and I didn't even know. Right. And I was like, I didn't know. And he said, this is what I'm going to do. You can park the car and you can just call somebody to pick you up. You get those because they don't want to do the paperwork.
Right. See
what happened to me?
See what I'm talking about? It's not that he was a nice guy. We got a nice cop in a uniform. It's that this guy is lazy. He don't want to do the purpose. We're so our radar is so stuck on negative that in positive.
But coach, you were breaking the law. You didn't have a license plate in the back.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. I heard what you're saying.
Nobody's disputing. No insurance.
I'm talking about you didn't have a license plate. You didn't have a license plate.
Okay,
they gonna pull you over if you don't have a license plate.
I expect more from you, Coach A. I expect
nobody's disputing that.
You got an I love Jesus hat. I expect more out of you.
This was in the 90s, sir.
I know this was in the 90s. This was early
on. Days. This was your heathen days. You was out here doing bald head hoe stuff. You got to be ashamed of yourself.
I was coming from work trying to support my family, sir.
I feel you, but
that's
you
why
get like, dude,
Probably your second family.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I've never had, a good interaction with a cop, because my god brother and I, we were coming from a party one night, and he driving, and he was drunk. But okay,
let me finish this point that I'm saying. The point I'm saying is that if you take both stories, you can look and find something negative if you want to, or you can find something positive. In either story, you can look at mine, and just like you said, you can look at mine and say, oh, he didn't want to do the paperwork. Oh, he was lazy. That's why he did that. Or you can say, you know what? This was a nice guy. He did you a favor. He didn't leave you on the side of the road and say, hey, you need to find a way to get home, or you need to walk home, or you need to.
He was supposed to take you to jail, driving without a license and no registration. He was actually supposed to arrest you.
He didn't have to take me to jail.
I
went to court.
You should have got pulled over that night, bro.
The judge didn't say, hey, he should have took you to jail.
I'm just saying the cop was supposed to take you to suspended license, your license, no registration. That's jail. That's automatically take you down, let you bail out. What happened to me was I didn't do anything. All my stuff was legit. He even said it. He like, I know that everything, your license is good and your registration is good. He already ran my plates and everything, but he decided to pull me over for God knows what reason. Why do you pull me over then?
Hey, so what was that conversation like, the 30 minutes to your house?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was quiet.
Oh, okay. I just asked.
I was quiet in the
truck. I think we should just go ahead and wrap this privilege thing up.
I will be honest with you. I was quiet in the push house because I was like, I hope we ain't pull over nowhere.
Oh, see? Now, why you thinking negatively? You thinking
why you think this society tell you to think like that?
Because of people like
society got his mind messed up now.
Y'all got my mind all thinking negative.
We didn't know you back then. So
don't try to put that on us.
Your mind thought like, I hope he don't pull over somewhere and beat the hell out of me.
Tell me.
At the least,
I'm about to put y'all on game, and then we can change the subject. All right?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we'll put him on this privilege thing.
I'm gonna put y'all on game. So at the shooting club that I joined, right? One of the instructors is a bounty hunter, right? And he broke it down to all of us one day. He was like, "Look, do you know, like some of these dudes that be out on bail, be done skip 3, 4, 5, 6 bails, and the bail be like $13,000-$14,000, right? And the thing is, we get sometimes 15 to 20% of that, right? And so my thing is, if I get a bail that's like say $20,000, right? And I know for a fact that if I pull this dude over, I might get $4,000 to $3,500. And if I let 2 or 3 of my cop homies know, like, hey, this dude skipped bail. If you find him, I'll put $500 in your pocket. Feels like that's the type of stuff that get people pulled over for no reason. And he's like, if you ever been pulled over by a cop and they look at all you in your face and they check your ID and they bring your ID back to you and they tell you, go ahead and have a nice day. They pulled you over because you fit the description of somebody that might be out on bail, might be done skip bail. So that's the reason why they pull you over. Feels like a lot of these things, and sometimes they escalate to a place they don't need to escalate. Feels like that's something that's very common in this field. So there are going to be instances where we get pulled over as Black people, especially Black people, because a lot of us do skip bail. A lot of Black people have skip bail and have bench warrants, and they're pulling you over just to see if you somebody. Because imagine if you pulling somebody over, and now all of a sudden, hey, bro, I got this person. I'm gonna book him. You come take him in, and you gonna put $1,000 in my pocket. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be pulling niggas over too. You better not ride past me in a Cutlass or an old Chevy. Good as pulled over. Who you? Let me see your ID. All right, I'm out. But they do that all the time. And that's the reason why a lot of these pullovers are just, let me check your ID and go about your business. Just FYI.
We don't have bounty hunters up here. It's illegal in Illinois.
Well, listen, there's also a list of white guys that got murdered unarmed too. So
we know this, but we have statistics to back us up.
Statistics show both. They show both.
Nah, statistics show that per capita, black people is more likely to be shot and killed by the police.
What you mean by per capita?
Because we're only 13% of the population. Per capita means if it was equal numbers in the United States,
right? I get
we are a higher risk of being shot and killed by the police than white people.
So right? I understand that, but
that's the national federal statistics. You can't argue with that.
The statistic, yeah, but
you can't argue. You're gonna try to argue with it.
You're not
trying to argue with it.
What are we arguing about?
What we not going to do is keep this conversation going.
There's a lot of
go ahead and move on to the next topic. Be what it is.
To the next topic. I love Jesus. Move on to the next topic.
Yeah, but people like to end on some trickery, man.
No, that wasn't trickery.
Go ahead. Next topic. Next topic.
Look it up.
Next topic. There's statistics for statistics too.
So what I'm about to say about statistics, you can use that to go against and for your notion of whatever view you're going towards.
Nick,
so that being said,
Nick is on point today.
No, I'm always on point.
Yeah,
I just like to argue sometimes.
Listen, let me tell y'all something. Next topic. We done with the privilege topic. Next topic, man.
Hey, we ain't say nothing about white privilege at all, did we?
We'll leave that for the next episode.
We ain't talking about black people the whole time. We ain't even talking about white privilege. Oh my goodness! But the next topic, Coach, I don't even remember what the next topic was. I know you wrote it down.
I think it was the one Telly. The one Telly brought up.
Which one?
The division. What things divide us in America?
Yeah.
Telly did say that. Yeah.
What does it?
Things that they use to divide us.
Oh my God.
Do you know the media? Social media, the newest thing.
So I want to ask y'all a question. If y'all know, social media and all these outlets put out, what they want to put out and not everything, why do we sit here and still,
No, I was just saying why we fall for it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, why do we sit here and still get mad at what we know that the media puts out it might not be right or true or biased or whatever?
I'm not mad at what they put out. I'm not mad at what they put out. I'm mad that people believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they put out a story, and for me being open-minded, it's like, now this whole story is BS. So they ain't telling us the whole thing, and I know they're not telling us the whole thing. But then you have those people who immediately jump from one side to the next, or like, this is one extreme and you're on this extreme. That's what I be pissed off about. I'm pissed off about that. You really out here buying this.
But why would you get mad that somebody else believing that?
Because it's stupid. Because it's a point to divide us, and yet you let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what this is for, and you let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, he's gonna throw a right hook and punch you in the face, and then you stand there and you get hit, and it's like, bruh, why? You knew this was gonna happen. Every single thing that happens, you know that there's some way, a point that the media is pushing this to divide it, right? And then it's like, bruh, you knew this was gonna happen, right? Or what they like to do is they like to send people like Coach A to try to talk to certain people and try to get them on the right side of things. And then you be sitting there looking like, I know they ain't got this fool up here trying to talk to me. This old house Negro right here, he ain't got nothing to say to me.
Oh, believe me, I've heard it all, Coon. I've heard it all.
But yeah, so
all kinfolk and kinfolk.
I can't have my own opinion.
And that's true.
That's crazy that we can't allow Coach A to have his opinion because that's what he believes in.
It makes me a house nigga. See,
right?
Hey, trust me, Coach A. I've been on the receiving end. I had to cut some people out. Like, what are you talking to, man? Because I ain't nothing like. I just don't believe in that stupid ass narrative. Like, I can see things. Like, I don't get emotional. I look at the whole picture and be like, you know what? That's kind of not, as big of a deal as y'all making it. Because I can see from this perspective, and no, hey, I ain't got to jump off a cliff every time and just be like, go to battle. I mean, like, the newest thing that's dividing us is the whole vaccine thing.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know, you got, they say unvaccinated.
That one. I know he probably.
Oh man,
he missed
they
that
got
one.
commercials about it. If you unvaccinated, like the latest commercial I saw last night, it was like 98% of the people that's in the hospital with COVID are unvaccinated. And I'm like, that's a damn lie. Because when I was in the hospital, they asked me, have you been vaccinated? They kept asking me, different nurses and stuff, until one nurse asked me and I said, no. And she said, the reason why I'm asking you is because most of the people in here, because it was 300 people on the COVID ward, including myself. She said most of the people in here with the COVID are vaccinated. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. You got vaccinated and you still wound up here? So I'm like, yeah, that's a damn lie. It's vaccinated people that wound up in the, but they trying to say, oh, unvaccinated, get the shot. And then you got people who say, oh, you're not vaccinated, you stupid. You know, you putting everybody in danger and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, I'm looking like, well, if you vaccinated and I'm not, how the hell are you in danger? You know, from me. Because you vaccinated and it works, right? Like the shit don't make sense, like whatsoever. So that's just one of the things that's dividing us. But the real divide, well, maybe not the real divide, but the showing of division came around the 2016 election. That's when motherfuckers came about the woodworks and showed their true colors. You know, like, think about it. When Trump ran for president, them motherfuckers came out the woodworks. When he got elected, all of a sudden, with the progress we thought we had made in this country, showed us that we didn't.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry. Give a shout out to Kev, man. He said he loved the show, man.
Big homie.
Yeah, appreciate you, Kevin.
Weekend, man.
But I'm saying, we saw a rise in incidents, racial incidents after that. And we thought, oh, we come a long way. No, they were just hiding, waiting for their moment. You know, and it's a shame because like we said, the media put out these narratives, you know, it's the Mexicans taking all the jobs, the illegal immigrants taking all the jobs. And you got to look at like
the racial stuff is worse.
Yeah, like
it hadn't changed. It's been the same.
It's been the same, but it's been hidden. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's not that it's been hidden. Nobody had a way of recording it. Now you got social media, but it's always been phones. It's always been put out there. It's not like the statistics are showing that it's happening more now than it did back then.
I ain't even referred to any statistics. I'm just saying from what I could see, coming up, it looked like it was, getting better, through my lens. You didn't, hear about, these incidents. Like the big thing when we was young, Coach, was the Rodney King thing, 1992. That was like big because somebody caught that on film with a camcorder, whatever. They didn't have camera phone. So now you seeing these police whoop this dude's ass, you like, oh shit, it's crazy.
But we always heard about it in our programs. Sanford and Son always talking about it. Matter of fact, one of the jokes, the funniest joke, it was like, do you know that breast or cancer or something kill more blacks than such and such? And Fred looked at Lamont and said, I thought it was the police. And this is the 70s. This was made back in the 70s.
I know. So I used to watch Sanford and Son.
So it's always been there. It's always been there.
Of course, what I'm saying is it's always been there, but at a certain point, we were led to believe that we've made progress in this country, that it really wasn't happening like that until the rise of social media and cameras on everybody's phone. It's just being recorded now. You can catch it now.
But we have made progress.
Where? So we have not.
You saying we haven't made progress?
Dude, we had minimal progress.
The reason, okay, so let's get back to the division. Let's get back to, because I can go on and on about the progress. It's the mental thing, it's the teaching thing. There's a lot to go on when you talk about progress mentally.
The progress is part of the division.
Progress. I went from not owning a home, not owning anything, to owning a home. you can progress if you teach the right principles and people work it out. So we don't get in that. The division comes. The biggest problem, and this is just my perspective, biggest problem with division has to do with the one group, one side, and sometimes it's, one group could be the police, could be racist people, could be Christians, could be whoever, and then the other group is when we begin to demonize the other side. And so then now people feel like they're forced to take a side because they can't, number one, they can't control their own personal thinking, right? They don't feel like, okay, well, it don't matter if you feel this way or you feel that way. I know I'm not a demon. I know I'm not bad, so I don't care. People, the average person, don't control that. When they see the pressure from society, they're forced to choose a side because they don't want to feel like they're wrong or they're a demon or they're the cause of the problem. So that's where the division starts. You see what I'm saying? Like with me, I don't choose one left or right. I don't say left or right is better or worse. I pick based on my own personal life and what's best for me, and that's how everybody should be.
Yeah, everybody
exactly.
Right,
but
a lot of times
there you go. You said demonize. It's the labels. That's my next point. The labels, like you just said, left and right.
Right.
Liberal, conservative. Why can't we just be who we are?
I just split. And I didn't mean left or right. Meaning
no, I'm just saying. I know what you meant, but I'm saying that's a perfect example because, like you said, it make you seem like you have to choose.
But if y'all think about it, we just kind of did that with our last topic.
Yeah,
I mean,
white privilege and black privilege.
Yeah,
I mean, before y'all got on here, I was just saying. Basically, I wanted to take the color out of it because almost every conversation, not almost, but like I would say 50% of our conversation always go towards black and white, and it shouldn't. But like I was saying, we got to take these labels off of everything.
But even Nick, if you take the labels off, you still have to label it something, either from your perspective. Either you label it positive or negative, you label it good or bad.
I would rather label it good and bad rather than black and white.
Right. I agree with you.
But you got who was it? You got a lot of people. Nah, not a lot of people, but I'm trying to find Chris. Like religion, money, race, abortion, minorities, like all this stuff divides us. The Colin Kaepernick thing divided us. Some people would say 9/11. Some people say 9/11 brought us together, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really did. But
let me that's a perfectly good point. 9/11 every year. 9/11. They put up the commercials.
Yeah.
Never forget. They said 9/11 was an attack not on one individual group, but as us as Americans. It should have brought us together. Now we got to put aside the petty differences. 6 months after 9/11, business as usual.
Hold on. I want to know what Jody got to say because he ain't saying too much real quick.
Oh, Jody ready. It's percolating. Jody holding in.
Jody learning.
I've been listening to y'all talk, right? And y'all all make good points. I've been a firm believer in this. Black people have been treated as good as society will allow us to be treated. When somebody says, maybe this slavery thing isn't right, then they ended slavery. When somebody says, maybe this, Jim Crow thing isn't the best way to go. Jim Crow ended. No, maybe we should let black people go to white people's schools. It should happen. Maybe black people can play with the white basketball players. Guess what? It happened. And it never happened because of black people. It always some white person is validating what we want and say, you know what? Maybe it is okay for them to have this. So that point, black people have always been treated as good as society will allow us to be treated, first of all. Second of all, to the 9/11 point, you were absolutely right. Because for the first 6 months, we're one big, great, happy America. But I was like, are you saying that because you want people to go over there and fight this war? Because that's what it seems like. Let's all go fight the same fight. Because I looked at 9/11 and I'm like this. And I feel about this about all armed services. And this is probably one of the most horrible things I will say. When people say, oh, we're America, we're a country, I look at them like, nah, White people, this your country. You stole it fair and square. You killed 1.5 billion Indians. You killed 1.5 billion Indians for it. You know, you colonized the Native Americans.
It was better when you was quiet.
You killed about 200 million black people that you stole from Africa. You got it, white people. This your country. Y'all can have it. So when it comes time to fight for it, why should I put my black ass on the line? No, this your white country. You stole it. You go fight for it. You go risk your neck to fight for this country that you stole, that you colonized. So I be sitting there looking like, this ain't my problem. This is a white people problem.
So during that time, it was everybody was fighting and getting land. Everybody was doing that. How you think the Indians got their land? They was being taken over.
The white people gave it to them after they done killed 1.5 billion of these people, Coach.
Jody, this is what I'm saying. All the different countries was fighting and taking land. That's how it was built. Even England tried to come and take what we had. They tried to take over here. We had to fight them. It's just
they colonized here.
They colonized here.
But we still had to fight. We still had to
fight.
We
had to fight for independence.
So that's just how it was. No, we didn't. Not for. They was taking over. They had their troops here. They was being.
Yeah, because we was a colony of England.
They wanted us all sipping tea 3 times a week and talking proper. If they had to took over, that's what we would have did. So that's what we would be doing now. We would be sounding different, just like they sound over there in England.
Okay, so instead of us having an England accent, we have an American accent, like they did anything better.
So what I'm telling you is that during these times, that's what was going on. People was taking and fighting for land and getting their land. Even the Indians had to fight for whatever they wanted. They didn't just, you know what I'm saying, say, oh, this is rightfully theirs has our name on it, huh?
What was rightfully theirs? What has their name on it? It was they shit in the first place.
You
came over here and discovered some stuff.
How did they get here? How did they get over it? How did they take it?
You know what? Nobody knows how the Indians got here, but we know the white people came over here on boats. We know that for a fact. They wasn't over here.
Yes.
Like, don't do that. White people are horrible. This is why
white people are horrible.
Don't do that, Jody. You about to get jumped, Jody. You about to get jumped, don't do that, Jody.
Hey, not all white people are horrible.
Chris.
What'd he say?
He said all white people are horrible.
I told you he was better when he was quiet, man.
Not all white people are horrible.
Nick. I'm blaming you this time.
No,
I'll take it.
Listen, not all white people are horrible. Okay? I won't say that, all right? But I will say this. I can't stand for a white person that's like, oh, this is my country. It's not your country.
You white too, Jody. We all white. We all
I'm not white.
We all come from Adam and Eve.
And they wasn't white.
They wasn't white either.
What my point is that we're all mixed with the same.
We're all one.
We all one.
We all human beings. Yes.
Lion King and all these movies that teach us anything.
Hey, I tell you what, Coach A, next time I get pulled over, I'm gonna tell that, hey, bro, don't give me a ticket because we all won. Remember that?
If you break the law,
like you did with no license and no tag, like you did.
But in his situation, he had a good cop.
Yes,
right. He had in that situation, he had a good cop.
Thank you.
Not all cops gonna give you that privilege.
Thank you.
Okay. Some cop would have snatched you out your car and took you to jail.
Just remember, everything in our life is situational. Everything.
And it's different situations.
And a lot of times we draw these things to ourselves too, based on our actions, our attitude, our emotions. It's called the law of attraction. Look it up.
Chris,
I understand. I understand the law of attraction, but I will say this though. I will say this, right?
There's no white people in the Bible.
That's what TikTok said.
I know.
There ain't no white people in the Bible, but whatever.
Jody, how you know if you don't read it?
I got people who have read plenty of it.
Gosh, Nate.
So you don't know.
I got it.
You going off of what they said.
Yeah, I trust them. I trust my Bible reading people.
It's good to go read it yourself, Jody.
Shots fired.
Listen, we're going to keep this conversation here. Y'all don't want to have that conversation with me.
Why we don't?
Why we don't?
Because y'all to be mad.
Something he didn't say.
No, we're
Y'all
not
would be-
gonna be mad.
Actually,
Mad at you.
this is right along the divisiveness
Yeah.
Okay.
of
But the
conversation.
thing is-
Religion.
Since we're having a conversation, the division is, I don't want to read that book full of lies. I don't want to
Whoa.
read that book somebody done made up.
Time out.
I
How you
wanna
know
read
it's full
that.
of lies?
Let him
How
finish.
you know it's full of lies? I had
Exactly.
to ask him. How you know it's full of lies?
Because I have read it. I've read parts. I've read certain sections. I've read parts that have been pointed out to me. And
What
to
part
me,
is a lie?
bruh,
Because
it
you
just-
know a lot of things
No,
that
no.
they mention in that book
Good
has
morning.
come
Hold
to
on.
true.
I
Has
want
came
him
true.
to point out the lie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
What
how-
part was the lie?
You have to read it to be able to point out any discrepancy.
the stories they tell are unrealistic to me. And in all honesty,
Unrealistic?
it seems like it's just a book saying, hey, don't be a dick, be a good person. That's generally what it's saying. The Bible gives general advice. General advice you can get from any religion. So it's like I don't have to fall
That's
heavily
not
on this
advice.
book. It's just,
Hold on. So what I'm hearing is like you definitely didn't say it was a lie. You saying it's giving out advice.
Put it in there.
That's true, though. That's true.
and I feel like it's a lie, but it just gives out general
But
advice.
that's okay because that's your opinion, and nobody on this show is gonna jump on you because you said that.
Man.
You
Absolutely
lies.
Lies?
Absolutely not.
I'm
What
trying
do
to
you
see what a
mean?
lie.
No, I'm talking about nobody. See, this is what I'm saying. We talking about division. When I start talking about, I don't go to church and I don't really believe in
Nobody
anything the
said
Bible be
anything about
talking
you
about.
going to church.
Nobody
We
said that.
talking about the Bible. You said it's a book of lies. I'm trying to figure out where's the lie. In your perspective, I'm actually your perspective.
Listen, from Jody, from listen, the Bible. One of the issues is the Bible is not made to take literally. So if you try to take it literally, you will come to the conclusion that some of these stories seem like a lie or they seem fake or whatnot. And I understand that. But the Bible is meant to take spiritually, just like you said, give you advice on life, on how to live and how to thrive here on earth. That's what the perspective it comes from. And so if you're looking at it from a literal perspective, like, yo, is this a true story? No, I can't get into that. Then I can understand that point and see where you're coming
That's
from.
exactly what it is. It's like, am I supposed to believe this? Because this don't seem very feasible in my opinion.
The thing is, Jody, you don't have to believe it. It's up to you to choose if you want to or not.
So look, let me finish though.
That's Old Testament, Chris. We go by the New Testament.
So yes, right, but if you try to take it literally, then you will have that. But just like you said, it's advice. The Bible is clearly advice, and it helps. So if you want to better your situation, if you want to better your business, better your life, there are some things in the Bible that can teach you how to do that.
Or
But
give advice on how to do that.
Right. But you have to understand what you're reading. And so a lot of times if you have a negative mentality when you read something, you already thinking negative, then you're not going to accept it.
Well, the problem is you don't have good people, right? You like to get cops. You don't have good Christian folks who want to actually have a conversation. Because when I was growing up, my parents used to force me to go to church, and I would get in trouble because I asked questions. This shit don't add up. Answer this question. Now all of a sudden I'm being rebellious and a heathen and everything under the sun. So it's like it's bad representation. It's like how you want somebody to believe it. They're asking questions and you shunning them for it. So it's just like I just kind of turned it off.
Hold on. Let me get this, coach. So everybody that you encounter, I'm not gonna say they good people or bad people or whatever, but you encounter one person and you want to loop everybody in the same boat. That's what people do.
Person. It's not one person. It's so many.
You got 4 people on this panel right now that can actually talk to you, will listen to you, and will try to answer your questions as good as possible. But we ain't even heard the question yet.
No, well, he did have a question about, well, it's not necessarily a direct question, but when he's talking about the Bible is a lie. That's and then this is the next issue.
You're right. I took it for face value. I took it for what I read. I read what it was there. It's a face value. I thought that's what it was supposed to be. So when I was pointed out references and I read it right on my own terms, this face value don't seem very, very true. So I was just like, I just stopped. And I was like, all right, nobody can answer my questions. And it doesn't seem like this is very factual stuff. So I let it go and I left it alone. And every time somebody would tell me something out of the Bible, it just sounded like the right thing to do. It sounds like generally good advice. It sounds like, you know, even if I've never read this Bible, it sounds like something I would be in that book because it just sounds like general advice. So it's like, I don't really need to read that to understand the concept of it. But yeah, you're right. People will shun you, look at you crazy, and like act like you are the devil because you don't believe in what they believe in.
So my question is, has anybody on this panel did that to you?
Not on this panel, no. I'll give y'all that. Y'all haven't done that.
And we ain't.
But that's what I'm saying. You got different people. You got people in every religion that will shun you if you don't believe in what you believe. But I guess in my religion, if you don't believe what I believe in, that's cool. You don't have to. I mean, when I read the Bible, it say he gives you every opportunity to do whatever you want to do. And why should I sit here and say, Jody, you're a bad person because you don't believe what I believe in? Nah,
you'd be surprised how many people actually do that.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised how many people actually do that.
People do that. People do that.
Because you have extremists in every religion. Right. Those are extremists. Like Christian, I've seen some extreme Christians, and I'm looking like, no, that ain't the way it's supposed to be, man. Like,
my mom always said, all good people ain't going to heaven. Every Christian ain't going to heaven also.
The Bible say that. Depart from me, I never knew you.
Right. Every Christian is not going to heaven.
Yeah.
So you might be talking to some of those Christians who ain't going to heaven. Who's to say I'm going? You know what I mean? Listen. But I mean, I agree with one thing Steve Harvey said. This is probably the only thing I ever agreed on him. He
Don't talk about Uncle Steve.
He said, at the end of the day, if the Bible isn't real, what's the worst by living by those rules? Because basically, it's just teaching you how to be a good person
and be successful.
I mean, you can be a good person just by being a good person.
Yeah, I get what
you're saying.
You don't have to be a good person.
But listen to this though. You can't. You're right. But don't you have to know what a good person is? Like otherwise, you're gonna take Telly's advice for a good person, my advice, or other people's advice on being a good person. So there has to be a baseline for good people for being a good person, not everybody's opinion. And so personally, the Bible gives a good example of what a good person is. Right. It tells you, how to become a good person. Like, for instance, how to, what to think about, because a lot of people don't even understand. Like, you don't even understand a lot of the stuff that you've been through, right, with some of the judgments and going through with your parents and stuff like that. There's ways you can overcome that. But if we don't understand ourselves, then we'll let those things in the past dictate how we roll in the future. And that's what you don't want. You don't want to build up this wall because of you experienced these bad things in the past. And now you're coming at other people because they're triggering some of this stuff that you've been. Oh, this person's judgmental. I could tell, just like, my mother was, or just like my cousin was, or just like the other Christians was. Oh, this person is, this way. This person is that way. And it's just continually to trigger these things. And you won't have as much peace. You won't be able to just flow. And so a lot of times you learn how to deal with these situations from understanding. And a lot of that comes from your default thinking. If you have a default negative thought or a default positive thought, it's going to dictate your actions, it's going to dictate your emotions and the peace that you have within your life. And so a lot of times that's what the Bible teaches. It teaches us what to think about. And the reason we should think about these things is because our thoughts going to interact with our emotions and our body and our feelings and stuff like that. And so it's not made to take literal. It's not, all the stories is not made to take literal. It's made for you to read it and then get a revelation out of it, to get an understanding and how it applies to your life. And
if you don't do that, it's still all good.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still all good.
Trust me when I tell you, right? I grew up like this, and I knew it was all good. And there's just certain things I just don't discuss with people, and that's honestly one of them. And it got so bad to a point where somebody would even go along and be like, well, what's your favorite Bible verse? And I'd be like, kind of really ain't got one. What? Huh? Oh, you ain't got a favorite Bible verse? I ain't never really read it. Why? What's wrong with your life?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apologize for the whole Christian community. I'm sorry they treated you like that, brother. Like they absolutely had no right to ever treat you like that because you asked questions or you didn't believe what they believe. Obviously,
the thing is, Joe. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it.
What I was about to say, what Jody's doing is what the Bible asks us to do: ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jody, you're not doing anything wrong as far as everybody on this panel. I don't know who you walked across in your cross of life that has done this to you, but you're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to go out and research it yourself and get your own understanding. None of us here are going to judge you for that. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Christians shouldn't judge you for that neither, but we have Christians that do. Like Nick said, all Christians ain't going to heaven. It's some of them going to hell.
But it's the same. You can look at it the same way, like I said earlier, when how everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people lump black people together. All black people aren't the same. All white people aren't the same. All Spanish people aren't the same. Everybody is different, but in this world, we just lump people all together for whatever reason.
And it's not right to lump everybody in one thing, and that goes even back to when we talk about cops. It's not right just because cops has done things to lump them all into one group.
Yeah, let me turn my hat around because I don't want Jody to be triggered no more.
There you go. You see that's what Christian people do. They don't want you to be triggered, so he gonna take his view out of the window real quick.
Now he look like a thug with a suspended plate of life.
That's all right. But you comfortable though. But you comfortable. See?
No, I've always been comfortable around like y'all. But it has been situations when they start talking about like God and religion, and it's like I don't really chime in too much. And then you have people that are like they're always trying to push your input, and I'm like, you don't want my input because I ain't got that. I got nothing positive to say about everything you believe in, and I'm not here to shit on anybody's religion. I'm not here to try to make anybody feel some type of way because you know what? If I respect everybody's religion, I don't care what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't out here hurting nobody, shoot. I don't, you know what I'm saying? You allowed to believe in whatever it is you want to believe in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
Chris just put up a great comment that's 100% true.
A bad, it do. And honestly, that's all I've dealt with when it comes to that certain subject. It's bad representation because the moment you go to asking questions, like you know what I'm saying? It was like the moment you go to asking questions, it's like why is that wrong? And I'm gonna tell you the question that got it started, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the question that got it started. So I remember back in the day, I remember this dude. He killed his wife and 2 kids, and they were fighting because they were like, we want to put him on the death penalty, right? And we had a conversation in church one day, and they were like, well, no, nobody should be above God and blah blah blah. And I simply asked, and I'm like, well, if we shouldn't be above God, right? Why should this dude get the privilege to walk on earth? If anything, this man killed his wife and his kids, right? He has no right to living, right? So it's like, what's the problem with sending him to hell a lot quicker than what God intended him to go to hell for? And all of a sudden, I'm like the spawn demon of Satan because I'm okay with killing. And I'm like, I'm not okay with killing, but I'm just like, this dude, I'm saying if they want to give him the needle, give him the needle. Send him to hell faster. What's the problem with that?
So I would say, are you not different now from 10 years later, 10 years ago?
On that view, no. I believe in death penalty.
No. I'm just talking about you. Have you changed any from now and 10 years ago?
Yeah.
So there's proof that people can change.
That's true.
But I mean, I don't agree with the death penalty personally, because honestly, what about that person who done stuck maybe thousands of people and put them to death? Like, that dude technically done killed thousands of people too, so he should probably be put on the death penalty. But
Why should he put on the death penalty?
huh?
He's just doing his job, man. He's just doing his
No,
job.
I mean, but that might be his job. But he done killed more than some of these serial killers. Yeah. Just throw the people in jail and let them rot.
But why waste up my tax money when I could just send you on off the hell in the first place? I don't see
it anyway.
That's not your obligation, Jody.
My obligation. I'm just sending you to meet your maker. Whether you go to hell or not, that's on God. That ain't nothing to do with me. I'm just sending you to meet him a little bit quicker than what he might have intended.
But that's not your position.
Yeah.
Tell me where there was a sign-up sheet that you signed on to walk around making decisions on killing people. That's not your decision.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Go ahead.
People not being able to, just like you mentioned, people shouldn't judge you. It's the same. It's a similar situation. Like, it's not our job to decide, life or death. Just like it ain't our job to decide who's really right or who's wrong. Those positions is reserved in each and every person's life who's mentoring them and who's talking to them and trying to help them. That's the person that's reserved that you give judgment to say, hey, you might want to try this or you might want to try that. But if you don't give nobody that respect in your life, then you're right. I mean, it's nobody else's choice to decide. But, what I've learned is that there's consequences for all our choices. First of all, we all, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're all bad people in the sense that we've all done something wrong. So anybody can look at us and be like, we can't say that humanly. We look at, say, I'm better than this person or this person's better than me. But again, that's, talking spiritually, I can't put myself above anybody else. It don't matter. It just don't work like that. But, the bottom line is we can't judge based on our personal preference, because you might have one person's preference think that what you did is the worst thing in the world. They might want you to die. Then another person, based on their experience, saying, hey, it's not so bad. There's always somebody worse than him. And so
right. And I feel like once you get to a certain level of bad, it's okay to judge. Like, Coach A, you being a very positive thinker, I don't judge you for that. It get on my nerves a little bit, but I don't judge you for that. You know what I'm saying? Brandon being a Gator fan, I can't stand it, but I don't judge him for that. That's who he wants to root for. You know what I'm saying? That's his team. I don't, Telly cussing out me every week. I don't judge him for that. Telly, let it go. Let it go, Telly.
Man.
Let it go.
I judge me for that.
So it's like those type of things. I don't judge nobody for what they like or what they don't like. Those are medium offenses. Now some dude kidnapping and killing babies, I'm gonna judge you for that. I'm gonna judge you a little bit. I'm gonna judge you a lot for that, because I'm looking at that and I was like, there's certain levels to things, and it's just like there's no level of forgiveness for that. There's no level of forgiveness for that.
But there is a level.
But real quickly, it's based on what? What are you basing it from? If it's based on you, then yes, you're your own judge sitting on your own throne, and you can decide what to judge, what not to judge, what's good and what's bad. And then if you're going to leave that in everybody's hand, that's why a lot of us gives the Bible our particular, respect, because it'll decide, for us. We don't have to make that decision. But a lot of people.
But you have made that decision. You put preparations in place to make a decision to carry certain things out. And here's a perfect example. Coach A, you own a gun. So does Brandon, right? And I own a gun. I don't know if Telly and Nick own a firearm, but they don't. But you two do. So if somebody broke in your house with the intent to try to hurt one of your children, you take it upon yourself to defend them. At that point, it's like, why you just don't hit them with a Bible? Why you just don't have a sit down talk with them? Because at that point, ain't no talking to you. You've done something that I've deemed offensible, and it's gonna cost you your life.
So let me ask you a question. Why would any one of these people hit them with a Bible?
Because they don't want to take a life. They're not judging anybody. Well, like, I'm gonna talk to you because I don't want to judge you for breaking in my house. You could just be homeless and hungry. I'm not going to judge you for it.
It tells you to defend your family, your home, your house. And that's what these men are going to do with their gun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they didn't have guns back when they made that Bible.
Yeah, swords and stones.
Yeah, they had other weapons that they could use to kill somebody.
Stone people.
Gun a little bit more straight to the point.
I think that's what you want.
I don't know. You got 1,000
If
stones.
somebody's coming into your house,
coming at your head.
You want something that's gonna work straight to the point, and you gonna call 911 afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't want something that's gonna, hurt him for the moment, and maybe he can get back up and come after me.
So what you saying is, so the Bible says it's okay to take a life under conditions.
It say thou shalt not murder, no kill.
Yeah, thou shalt not kill.
All right, so right.
But it's okay to take a life under provisions. So now, because you are allowed to protect your family, now you can skip over the thou shalt not kill part.
But you're not skipping on it. What I think it says is it's been translated.
What I think it says.
It's been translated. You know what? I'm gonna find it for you, and I'm gonna tell you because I don't want to tell you nothing wrong.
So listen,
the Bible says,
there's a whole
govern the laws of the land, and trespassing is real. Okay, so you're governing the laws of the land. So if the land says we can execute pedophiles, and we start executing pedophiles, are we going to hell? Because that's what the land said.
Does the land says that though?
If the land say you can do that, you are acting within your right. But however, listen to this.
I'm spiritually safe.
I'm gonna make it simple for you. The Bible took all the commandments, right, all the laws, and he just changed it to 2. There's only 2 you really have to worry about. That's it. You apply these 2 things. You apply these 2 things, you never have to worry. First one is that I don't know where you are with God alone, if you believe in God, but it says don't place no other God. Love God with all your heart and all your soul. So that means you have to realize that we were all created. Right? We were all created. We didn't just come from no explosion and this and this and this. You have to, at some point in your heart, believe that you was created in God, from God, right? That's one. And remember, we're talking about, and the second thing is the second most important thing. And it's this: treat your neighbor as yourself. That's all you have to do. So if you're willing, so whatever situation, if somebody say something to you, somebody do something to you, whatever, if they're right, if they're wrong, put yourself in their situation. How would you want to be treated in that particular situation? What treatment would you accept in that particular situation? And you'll be okay. So if I break into somebody's house and I'm getting ready to attack their family and somebody kill me, I would expect to do this. I would expect to get that treatment, because I would do the same thing to somebody else. So therefore, what do? I don't do it, because if somebody's going to do something to me, I'm going to cock it up and they're going to have to feel the heat. So guess what? I'm not going to do nothing to them. If somebody does something wrong, they say something wrong and they react differently, I think what type of grace, or what would I want if I did something wrong like that? And so that's my reaction to that individual. Some people, you might be like, you know what? If I come across, if I do something bad, or you had to give it to me, I understand. So that's basically it. Look at that other person as if it was you in that situation.
Okay.
So it say thou shalt not murder. And the legal term for murder is the intentional killing of someone, or the killing of someone as a result of a complete disregard for their life.
That's the death penalty.
Right, but what I'm saying is
that's the death penalty.
Kill and murdering is 2 different things. So it's telling you thou shalt not murder. That's like your intent to kill for whatever reason. But killing, like you said, if somebody breaking your house and you shoot your gun to defend yourself, you just killed that person.
Right.
You didn't murder that person. Murder is like the intent to just execute somebody. Yeah. So that's the difference.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, I can dig it.
And this is why we have these conversations.
And so Rhea say everyone's expectations are the same. It's not everybody's expectation for themselves is the same.
Speaking of that,
what you want, how you want to be treated is you value your life. So you want to be.
What you doing Tuesday? Coach A, what you doing Tuesday?
Oh, here you go.
Why? What's going on?
I know why he asking.
We got an actual segment, right? We got a segment that we're gonna talk about on Tuesday. And you know what? I need all my Christian folks to pop in. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be there for sure.
But no, I need you in the show, because I need some explanation. Me and Telly need some explanation.
Coach
I knew
was,
this was
preparing for it.
Yeah.
Make sure you give him enough time so he can do his research. Don't
I'm
just
gonna send
It
him.
don't even matter.
I'm gonna send it to him. I'm gonna send it to him right after the show.
Stay
But
ready.
me and Telly had a slight conversation about this last Tuesday.
Okay.
And we were like, yo, we gonna have a whole topic about it.
Hey, let's see a little snippet of it.
All right, so when we talked about fake celebrities and artists, celebrities that are preaching the certain stuff that they're talking about, you know what I'm saying? Are they really living that life? You know what I'm saying? We got on Derek Jackson with his pandering to women, man bashing ass, and find out Creflo Dollar. So we want to know, are the Creflo Dollars, are the TD Jakes, are the what's my white boy? Joel Osteens? Are these people really living that life for Christ, or are they just pandering?
So let me ask you a question, Jody. On the flip side,
right?
Are the little Uzis, are the Jeezys, are the little Waynes, are they living that lifestyle too?
Yeah, run around killing folk like all the people in the music.
Absolutely not. But here's the thing, though. It's entertainment, right? And after a while, you get old enough to know that just entertainment. Now, like I said, when Lil Wayne was making the Carter 2 and the Carter 3, we know you're at the top. We at the top of the charts. You at the top of the charts. You one of the richest.
Talking to the police now.
But listen, though, you one of the richest artists in the game right now. We know that for a fact. So I know damn well Lil Wayne ain't getting no keys from Pablo in Colombia. I know damn well you not doing that, but you rap about it and we listen to it because it's entertainment. At this point, I don't really care about entertainers because it's entertainment. But when you talk about Christianity and the Bible and the church and God, you were talking about something people wholeheartedly believe in. People base their life on the words that are coming out of your mouth. So I want to know, is the words that are coming out of their mouth, do you really believe in these words that you are telling these people? Or are you just pandering because you know this is a way to make money? And that's part of the conversation I wanted to have because it's like
the Bible
hey,
does
coach,
that the word is good for that.
Coach. We just wanted the question. We don't need to. No. You answered on Tuesday. You
answer it on Tuesday. You can answer it on Tuesday.
Answer it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, because my thing was, and part of my question was, right? How can you as a pastor, right, preach to a congregation about life as a Christian when you are living a totally different life and a totally different tax bracket? Because I've heard some of the preaching back in the day when those preachers who were in the church and they were preaching about God and Jim Crow and the division of the country back in the early 50s and 60s, they were preaching from a place of, I want to uplift my community. And I'm using God as a part to uplift my community. And that's something I could respect from a whole heart point, especially when you have the preachers they own a small business and they're consistently helping people in the town, or they have a way to actually help people, or they are among their peers. So even though the preacher might own the business, he is not above his peers. How can you be in the same? How can you relate to your peers if your net worth is $38 million? How can you relate to your peers? So that's what we're going to talk about Tuesday.
Hey, Coach was about to give it to you right now.
I know you're right.
You look like he's still ready.
He's ready to go.
But wait till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wait till Tuesday. We're going to talk about it Tuesday.
Jesus.
For sure. Hey, speaking of giving, though, are we all on board for this charity event that we're doing?
I don't think I'll be able to make it.
You ain't going to be able to make it?
Yeah, I got to work. I work, 3 to 11.
3 to 11? Oh, yeah. You be at work.
Yeah, I'll be at work.
Monday.
Y'all hold it down. I wish I was down there with y'all. We can all do it together, man, because that's a great thing, feeding the homeless people out here.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, Coach Jay, I look forward to seeing you Tuesday.
Oh, that's this Tuesday coming up?
That's this Tuesday coming up.
All right. Okay.
If his baby ain't coming, he'll be there. I don't want to speak for you, but I hope
you're right.
Hey, you right. You know what, Coach A? if the baby is born and you can't make it on Tuesday, right? I will be so gracious enough to hold off that subject until you able to get back on. How about that? That's how good of a friend I am, because I know you want to cook on that. I'll pull up a whole nother subject and we'll hold it off just for you.
All right.
Y'all make sure y'all tune in to Real Talk Tuesdays on Tuesdays at
I'm gonna answer all your questions.
8:30, I believe.
Every question you want, I'm gonna leave.
Coach A will be making an appearance on Real Talk Tuesdays.
I sure appreciate it
too. I'm gonna tune in.
I'm gonna tune in, man.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna watch and let y'all finish.
Let me preface it with this: make sure you have an open and understanding mind. Don't come with that negative mindset. You gotta be. You have to be open.
I'm being open. I'm being open right now. I felt like I asked a very valid question, and
I can tell from your emotions that you already have your opinion about the situation. I can tell.
That's the reason why it's a podcast. We're all allowed to have an opinion, Coach A.
Yeah. Okay.
But I want to hear your opinion, and I got some other highly roly-polies coming in to cook with you too. You know what I'm saying? So you got backup.
I don't think Coach need backup.
I think he needs backup. I think he's gonna come at it.
He's good by himself.
He is good.
Hey,
you talking about one man?
I'm not by myself. That's for sure.
No, he gonna bring Jesus with him. Then he gonna turn his hat back around.
I'm coming just like this. No, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna wear that.
Oh my God. But listen, before we roll out, we haven't done this in a minute, and I just want to do it real quick, man. Mental health check. I stay connected with the podcast with Brandon Marshall, and I forgot what the name of the podcast is, but
I Am Athlete.
Yeah, I Am Athlete, and they do a mental health check, man. I gotta make sure everybody good and what they got going on. So we'll let Jody go first since he about to get ready to get off. Jody, man, 1 to 10, what's your mental health check? It's mental health check.
It's like a 7, but it'll be probably a 10 when I get something to eat.
Oh, I got you. I feel you on that one, good brother. All right, Nick, where you at?
Man, I'm always at a 10. I woke up this morning.
Absolutely. Coach A.
10, ready to win.
Oh. Uncle Pud.
I'm a 9.
Hey, somebody give him some Popeyes.
Yeah. Then I'll be at 10.
Popeyes.
Hey, man, I'm at a 9.5, and that's only because I ain't ate nothing this morning. But everything's good in life, man.
Hey, what's y'all mentals in the comments? Where y'all at? Y'all still part of the family? Y'all
part of the family. Everybody that's still watching, what's y'all mental health check?
If y'all want to throw it out there, y'all ain't got to.
You ain't got to. You ain't got to. But while y'all doing that, man, hey, shout out to
Where's Jimbo?
Chef Jimbo couldn't make it today, but shout out to Chef Jimbo. His foods are gonna be.
That's what's up, Rhea.
That's what's up, Rhea. Rhea's at a 10, but Jimbo starting up his food thing next week.
Next week.
About that. Yeah.
Well, I like to see these numbers.
Yeah,
I like to see these numbers.
High numbers.
And if anybody below a 9 or a 10, lower 5, come holler at Family Talk, man. We like to get people 10s around here. Oh, Sam only an 8 because her back hurt, y'all.
Oh, okay. Well, we definitely praying that back get better.
Absolutely. Well, any final thoughts for anybody, man?
Man, this is what we do. We have some difficult conversations, but we don't judge nobody up here.
We not a judgmental. Nate at a 9. He's gonna clock out. He'd be at a 10.
Hey, listen, I put my station, the website up to my station. If you want some of that positive, inspirational hip hop, inspirational hits, definitely go to www.4impact.com. Hit the little music section all day. I got the heats. I even got I got Latino at lunchtime. I got Spanish music at lunchtime from 12 to 1. I got, if you driving in the morning traffic, I got Caribbean traffic jam. So, you can bump out to some Caribbean music in the morning. And I got the heat at 8 o'clock. Some of the top dopest music that I could find that's out right now. It's all positive. You can listen to it with your grandmother, with your kids. You ain't got to worry about none of that negativity, all of it. So you definitely want to tune in to Impact Music. www.4impact.com.
Y'all also check out Impact on Thursdays with Coach
I'm switching it to Friday.
Oh, you switching it to Fridays?
Switching it to Friday, starting the 29th. And the 29th is going to be our business week. Business week.
We so y'all business owners Friday. Come check out Coach.
I don't know if it's going to be this. No, not this. That's the first week in the month. So it's not going to be the 29th. It's going to be the following. The first week in November is going to be, if the baby's not here, obviously.
Right, obviously.
It's going to be Business Talk Friday. So we're going to talk about starting a business, running a business, converting a business. Like if you want to go from an LLC to an S Corp, what should you do? When should you do it? All that stuff. A lot of stuff that a lot of our
free game.
Yeah, and people don't know and don't understand. So
free game for all y'all up and coming business owners. Free game with Coach A and Impact. And then we got on the boxing podcast on Sunday. I still don't know if I'm gonna be there yet, Telly. I found out. Let y'all fellas know. We got that every Sunday. Final Round Boxing Podcast. I think at 10 o'clock Eastern time.
I think so. Because sound like my dog's out there fighting, man. I ain't trying to get locked up.
Fighting somebody else's dogs.
Yeah, man. I'm like, what's going on with all that barking, man? Like, police roll up on me talking about I'm like Michael Vick or something. Like, no.
But that's it today, man.
I don't think Uncle Pudge told his little wrap up.
Oh yeah, what's your final thought?
Man, my final thought is this, man. Us as people in the society, we need to come together. And it shouldn't be about labels, shouldn't be about color, it shouldn't be about religion, shouldn't be about sexual orientation. It should be all we are people. We should love one another and respect one another. You know, to me, it's about the haves and the have-nots. And there's more have-nots than it is haves. So let's stop letting the 1% control us and tell us how to think and how to feel. Use your own individual mindset. You know, feel and way and think the way you need to feel. Love your neighbor. You know, love your kids, love other people's kids. But most importantly, love yourself. Because you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself.
Hey, I'm gonna send y'all a little fan question. Yeah, I got something for y'all.
Okay.
Coach, you got any final?
No, he said it. I hate to add anything to that. That was a good.
Yeah,
I love everything you said, good, so I just second that.
Us as people, white and black, Mexican, Asian, we need to all come together and just stop dividing ourselves with one another, man. I love all y'all people. I got a whole bunch of white friends, Mexican friends, Asian friends, black friends. I love them all, man. I love them all. I just want to just give you a hug sometime. We can't because of COVID. We got to stay 6 feet. So I just be wanting to give y'all some hugs sometime, man. Like, man, I love you now. Give me one.
Yeah.
I don't care that you white. Give me a hug. Just hug me right. You know, don't go on pity pat hugs.
Yeah.
But that's it today, man. That's all I got. That's all I got. But my name be, man, I'm the CEO.
Nick.
Coach A.
Uncle Pudge.
And I'm gonna sign off for Nate, Jimmy, and
Joe.
Old Skywalker.
All right,
it's too early.
Have a good weekend. We will see y'all next week. It's Family Talk.
They wasn't worried about me last year when the cashier sent me to my car when I came short. Now I got the game torn. They either hate it or love it. Slim chances on advances. I just balanced the budget. Fuck it. Free my niggas on my Harriet Tubman. They said I'd never be the greatest. That's a scary assumption. But now I'm buzzing like the last shot. Got these lame tired old niggas about to pass out. Pass it.